Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie, Esther here, and today we got the reveal of the identities of the survivor and the killer for chapter 19 DLC of Dead by Daylight. The survivor is Jin Lee, the successful K-pop music producer, and the killer is our top singer Ji-woon, also known as the Trickster. It's very interesting that they have a relationship together. This doesn't happen in a lot of chapters where the killer and the survivor know each other. I believe the last time this happened was between Jeff Johansson and the Legion, where Jeff had done a mural in the hangout for the members of the Legion. They knew one another. But this is a much stronger relationship, I would say, here between Yunjin and ji-woon, the Trickster. So, there was an article today, an interview on IGN that reveals actually the name of the chapter, which, as far as I know, this is the first time that we have heard it. The chapter is going to be called AllKill. So I'll show you that article here, and it says Dead by Daylight collaborates with BTS producer on the new K-pop themed chapter. Dead by Daylight's next chapter is set within the cutthroat K-pop industry. Dead by Daylight announced its newest chapter, AllKill, set within the K-pop industry. The article goes on to read, Dead by Daylight announced its newest chapter today exclusively on IGN, titled AllKill. The new chapter is set in the backdrop of the cutthroat K-pop industry. Both the new killer and survivor will be ready to play in the public test build PTB later today. If you don't know about the public test build, it's a special beta that you can access on PC if you're on Steam. I'll put a link in the description of the video with the instructions on how you can test out the new chapter in the PTB for free over the next week before it comes out in about 3 weeks from now on all platforms. AllKill introduced the newest killer, the Trickster, a K-pop star with a penchant for murder. Joining him is survivor Yunjin, a music producer at the fictional Mighty One record label. In keeping with the chapter's K-pop theme, developer Behavior Interactive teamed up with Kevin Wu from the K-pop band U-Kiss and DJ Swivel, a Grammy Award-winning Canadian music producer who has worked with groups like BTS. Both will help make sure the K-pop industry and community are accurately portrayed. A lot of murdering going on in the K-pop industry. Got to make sure we portray that accurately. All right. So, and then we have this teaser here, which, as far as I know, like this says, this is IGN exclusive. This is not out yet. So I'm going to go ahead and play this for you. I don't think I have the sound on here, though, so hang on. AllKill. Coming soon. All right. It goes on to say the new killer was a singer named Ji-woon. The K-pop star was recruited into the boy band No Spin by Jin Lee. Ji-woon, who was already vain to begin with, began to feel jealous of his bandmates, and one day he intentionally let his bandmates die in a fire accident. So I believe normally when the chapter gets closer, they do a spotlight of the lore of each character. And this is probably going to be the header for when that article comes out and they spotlight Ji-woon's lore. Then it goes on to say, becoming addicted to murder and taking some inspiration from the Joker. Whoa! They admitted to that. Interesting. Ji-woon began kidnapping victims and weaving in their screams into his music in secret. When the executives of Mighty One caught on, they restricted his creative control over his music, an insult he repaid by kidnapping the board members in an elaborate murder plot. Just as he was about to kill his producer Yun-Jin, however, the fog called to Ji-woon to become its next killer. This, of course, sets up the Yun-Jin as this chapter's survivor. Yun-Jin was rejected as an idol trainee and instead joined the fictional Mighty One company as an intern, and later became the label's biggest hitmaker, though she was never able to take credit for her hits. Looking to turn her new group No Spin into stars, she recruited Ji-woon as its newest member. When the rest of the band died in the fire accident, Yun-Jin rebranded Ji-woon as a solo act called the Trickster. Unfortunately for her, ji-woon's violent tendencies would take him from being a K-pop star into a killer in the fog. And that is probably going to be the header for Yun-Jin's lore piece, I would imagine. She realizes that he's the one behind the murders. So here's your survivor, Jin Lee. I like how her idol animation, she looks at her nails. There's a couple different poses here. Let's see if we can get her to look at her nails. There we go. That's her. And there's ji-woon with his knife throwing ability with the 60 different blades and the trick shots that he can do with those. So actually a really cool nod that I want to show you here that the devs put in the game for Trickster. Check this out. So if you select ji-woon here in the custom game and just wait here for a second, he should do his cute little nod that I'm so shocked that this got put in the game. It's just something so small, but it's a really nice touch. Let's see if we can get him to do it. Hey, Trickster. I love that. That is amazing. I can't believe that's in the game. I love that. And oh, look at this gorgeous themed lobby. Many people have said that it's a missed opportunity to not have a map come with this chapter, with this neon city streets of Seoul, South Korea, and the burnt out studio as a map. It would be amazing, and I completely agree. There is no new map for this chapter 19. There are also no updated maps for this chapter. Apparently, the corn maps, maybe even more than that, were being worked for that graphical update. They're doing a pass-through to update all the existing maps. By my estimation, they have about 10 maps left to do, and apparently the corn maps were being worked on for this chapter, but they aren't polished enough to be presented with chapter 19, so they are delayed. So we're not getting any map refurbishment or a new map at all, which is upsetting, especially when you consider that we didn't get a map with the Blight chapter, and we didn't get a map with the Twins chapter. Now we aren't getting a map with Fixtures chapter, so we're going to have to wait until chapter 20 in June for the first opportunity to get a new map, which will mean that we will have gone an entire year without a new map, because the Pyramid Head Midwich Elementary School was the last new map that we got. So if we aren't getting one for chapter 19, we have to wait till June for chapter 20, so that's a whole year. So I can't wait for the graphics pass-through to be completed for the Realm Beyond. Hopefully they're able to get all that done by June, and then we can focus on getting new maps again and move on with all that. So that's all I have for you today with that information about the name of that chapter, AllKill, as revealed in the IGN article. And you should see this chapter released on all platforms in roughly about 3 weeks by my estimation. People have asked me what the cost is going to be. It's going to be the cost of whatever you're normally been asked to pay for other original chapters, and that varies from country to country. So whatever your platform shop is asking you to pay for the other chapters, or did ask you to pay for the other chapters, it should be similarly priced this time around as well. That's all I have for you. Thanks so very much for watching, as always. Don't forget to take care of each other in and out of the fog. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.